Hey guys, what is up? It is Tuesday, and you know what that means. I'm trying to gather my bearings here because it's been a crazy few minutes. I've had a little bit of crisis, but no fret. That's what happens when you're live. Welcome and happy Tuesday, as per always. I'm super excited to be here with you guys. We have a super exciting show for you today. And I use that word super all the time, right? So if you hear, you're probably like, Dad, that's all this girl says. But it is a good time tonight. It's going to be just amazing for me because I love to share positive stories. But I love to get the feedback from people who matter the most, people's children, right? Because our kids, they're dramatically honest. My daughter is so honest sometimes that I'm like, oh my goodness. But tonight, I am going to be joined by two amazing, they're not kids. This isn't a youth edition. They are in their 20s, so they are grown folk. But they are going to give us tonight what they feel about their two amazing parents. I'm already getting choked up because I'm an emotional mess all the time. But it's so exciting for me to know that, you know, these two kids see their parents in such a great light after everything that they've dealt with. But no fret, before we get into that, reminder of why we're always here. You see that number scrolling across the screen, 1-800-799-7233. If you or anyone that you love, or even a foe, it takes 2 seconds, are dealing with domestic violence, make sure you tell them to reach out to the National Domestic Violence Hotline so that you can get the help that they need for them. You can reach out to us at all of our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever the case may be. If we do not respond within 24 hours, I heed, it's so important. If it is important, please. If it is something that you feel you are desperately seeking the attention that you need and we have not responded quickly, call 911 or dial that number on the screen so that we can make sure that you are dealt with and your situation is dealt with very quickly. Thank you guys for being here. The last time I was on the screen, I was just profoundly excited about our topic that night because I was with Miss Marilyn, and Marilyn always brings such a good energy to the screen, and we had such a good time. But tonight, folks, we are talking about how our kids view me. And tonight I have Mr. Johnson and we have Miss Morales, who are children of two avid, important people. The first young man, Mr. Johnson, he is the son of Miss Carmen Johnson. She is an avid follower, supporter. She calls me when she needs me. She looks for me when she needs me. We reach out to one another. We support one another. She is an amazing writer. She is an author. She is also a shero, which is the way that I call it. Yes, your baby is here. She is one of our sheroes. She is not a victim, but she is a victor. And her son is here tonight to talk to us about how he views his mama. So we are going to welcome Mr. Johnson first to the screen so that we can have a discussion about him, get to know who he is, and kind of speak to him about how he feels about his mama.
Hi,
Hi, Sam. How are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I am great. I'm so excited to have you here. Your mom has been on so many times and she talks about you boys all the time. You guys are awesome. So you're feeling good? You're pumped? You're energized? You're ready to go? You have
Yeah,
no idea what I'm going to ask you?
I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited.
Awesome. So, Sam, before we get into how you view your mama, tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell us your full name. Tell us about you and what makes Mr. Johnson who he is.
Sure. My name is Samuel Johnson. I'm a junior at High Point University in North Carolina.
Ooh,
I am on a full ride scholarship, so I am
yes.
a full ride scholarship. I'm also a mentor back in North Carolina. I help with
Mhm.
youth summits. I help in the community, just
Okay.
making sure that the youth there understand what's happening in the world. I'm also a speaker. I'm also an entrepreneur.
Hey.
I like to say that I was an entrepreneur before my mother became an
Ooh,
entrepreneur. But I'm gonna leave
no
that
shade.
alone.
No shade.
No shade. I'm her agent, as many know, and then I'm also a basketball player as well.
Oh my goodness, you got a lot going on for you, Mr. Johnson.
Yes, I do.
Don't mind me, because normally I got this whole thing going on, folks, but I had a little crisis before I got on the screen. So I gotta apologize to my viewers if you're reviewing and you're like, what is going on with her right now? My laptop just broke, fell on the floor 2 minutes before I came on the show. The screen is cracked. I really want to cry right now, but the show must go on. So if you see me moving around, it's because I'm trying to get my phone together and make sure Damn, yes, my phone, my laptop just broke, but the show must go on. So tell me what you know. You say that you talk to individuals and you speak about different topics. What do you know about domestic violence, and what are your feelings about domestic violence?
Well, I know a lot. A lot of my friends, actually, just recently, I had a friend, a close friend, who
Mm-hmm.
was a victim of domestic violence,
Mm-hmm.
and it's something that is a norm in this world now,
Yes.
which is sad to say because
Yeah.
but it's normal now for people to
Mm-hmm.
be victims, and it's very sad. And you know, I tried to stand up for people of abuse. I had a podcast
Mm-hmm.
years ago. I had a
Mm-hmm.
podcast where I did something similar to you. I just told people about their stories to let
Mm-hmm.
others know, what you're going through. You're not the only one going through it. You have others around the world that goes through the same thing that you're going through, and they got through it. So
Mm-hmm.
understanding that you can get through it. So I'm a big firm believer that we should stand up for people who have been abused and
Mm-hmm.
get their stories out there and let them know you're not alone. We have your back. We hear your story, and we love you for
Hmm.
who you are.
Absolutely, absolutely. You seem like a very fine young gentleman. I'm super excited that you're here with us today. It looks like Carmen is doing a great job with you guys. So when it comes to the idea of domestic violence, you know it in the general sense, and you're not that you know it. Let me rephrase that. You're speaking on it in the general sense of what the world knows about it, what you've heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to domestic violence, what are your thoughts and feelings about it, knowing that your mother is someone who dealt with it?
Wow, that's a personal question.
Yeah.
Knowing that my mother dealt through it, um, my first thought was frustration and anger. Because the reason I say that is because my mom, if you don't know my mom holds a lot of things back. And she doesn't like expressing herself, especially if she's
Mhm.
going through something. She
Yeah.
keeps it, she holds it in herself. And when she was going through that crisis, I felt like she was going through it alone, just because
Yeah.
I didn't know at the time what she was going through until
Mhm.
after she went through it.
Yeah.
And I felt angry at myself because I wasn't there for my mother at the time.
Yeah.
And so, when she told me her story, when she finally came to us honestly and said, this is what I'm going through, it broke my heart, and it brought tears to my eyes because it was like,
Yeah.
mother, you went through this alone. Like,
Mhm.
I wasn't there with you. None of the brothers was there with you. We didn't even know what you was going through.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a sense of anger at myself just for not being there for her.
Yeah. And what you felt is normal.
Hmm.
It's supernatural, especially for people who love us and who interact with us. I know that when I came out about my story, a lot of people, my daughter, when I came out about my story, was what, 3 years ago? I'm not sorry, almost 4 years ago when we started this documentary. That's when she found out about my abuse. But when I went through my abuse almost 16 years ago, my family and friends had no idea. They thought that they knew what was going on, but they had no real idea. So until I finally came out, they were just in the dark, and a lot of them felt exactly like you. So what you're feeling is normal. All of them were frustrated, all of them were sad, upset, angry. Our executive producer Ray is one of my best friends, and he had no idea
Wow.
until I shot the documentary in front of him, and he literally couldn't even keep the tears from falling because he felt the same thing. We could have helped you. I'm sorry that we couldn't. Well, listen, that is the start of us getting to know Mr. Johnson, Sam. So we're going to send you to the back. We wanted to know who you were. We want to kind of get your viewpoint. We're going to bring up the next beautiful young lady who I've known since she was in her mama's belly. So, Sam, we're going to send you to the back, and we are bringing on Miss Janeri Morales.
Hello.
Hi, mi amor.
Hello, everybody.
How are you, preciosa?
I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm excited to be on tonight. I'm super excited.
Awesome. People, I've known this girl since she was in her mama's belly, and I've seen her grow, and she's not even a girl. I'm sorry I'm referring to you as a girl. You a grown woman now. I get it. I'm sorry. Doing your thing. So tell everybody who Janelli is.
So, I'm 23 years old. I actually work close with my mom. We own and
Okay.
operate a nutrition shop together, Fox Chase Nutrition, shameless plug. I'm my mom's girl, so we definitely do a lot together. workouts. We host
Mhm.
workouts. We host a lot of events. We serve in church together. All that fun stuff.
Oh, you guys are awesome. Listen, when you think of people see me and Alina and they're like, oh my God, you guys are so close. You got to see these two together. They are a dynamic duo, those two.
She
They
will.
are like,
She
she
will
doesn't
let
call
you
her her
believe.
mother or her
She will
daughter.
let you believe up and down that we're sisters, and she'll
Yes.
link that.
Yes. She always says, my sister. Oh, my
Yeah.
sister. And
Yep.
don't let none of us be around us. I'm like, your daughter. I'm a hater. That's all. So, same questions that I gave him. What is your knowledge of domestic violence?
Um, Domestic violence definitely for me now that I'm older and I've really processed things differently because I was so young. I think where we need to shed a light on is really helping not only women, because obviously men experience it too,
Mm-hmm.
um, learning to value ourselves. I think that we can avoid a lot of things in life when we learn those things, and we're not
Mm-hmm.
taught a lot of things like that in school. It's very
Right.
practical, but there's a
Yeah.
lot of things in life that can be avoided when we learn to value ourselves a little bit more and um, see those red flags early on. But it definitely hits close to home, so it's definitely a touchy, subject.
Right. So, with that same context, the way that I asked Sam, what is your feelings? Because, see, we can think about domestic violence, right? I could talk about domestic violence all day long, right? It's what I do. It's my platform. So I can go out there and I could say this is wrong and domestic violence is terrible and da da da. But there's a totally different side to that when I'm talking about it when it comes to my own personal self and my own personal experience through it. So those are your thoughts just in general, right? Because we need to be more open. We need to be out in the public and talking about it and spreading the word because just like he said, it's become way too normal, right?
Right.
When it comes to your personal feelings about domestic violence, when it comes to your mom, what feelings do you get? Like what do you feel inside yourself whenever it comes to my mom lived through this? I was around when it was happening. So what do you feel? And
Well,
your mama's watching. I see her.
I was thinking about this earlier today when you asked me to guest speak tonight.
Mhm.
Um, and obviously, it's a subject of things that we wish didn't happen. But honestly, the first thing that came to me was I'm proud that she even came out and started talking about it. I know it
Yeah.
was it wasn't even a thought, or we never even spoke about it until you
Yeah.
asked me to be a part of the documentary. So it's learning how God, you know, he may not want us to go through certain things, but he can use
Hmm.
anything.
Yeah.
So there's things that we go through that he could definitely use. So I was proud that she came out to speak on it, because you never know who else is going through it,
Hmm.
is embarrassed or doesn't want to speak on it. So
Hmm.
that was my initial, obviously I don't wish that it would that happened,
Yeah.
but it's being a light for other people.
Right. So I have a super disadvantage right now because since I'm doing it through my phone, I can't like filter it up. It's like very like so you're talking and like my eyes are watering and I can't even hide that. And then this light is like stupid bright on my face. I'm like, they could tell I'm a crybaby, but it's all right. If you watch, you know this already. Um, I say that because looking at you on the screen and knowing your mother, she we joke and we say that we're our longest friendships, right? We've known each other since the third grade. So we've been friends forever, right? We've seen each other through the good, the bad, the crazy, the ugly, all types. And seeing you speak about her, like I get emotional and I'm probably gonna cry through this whole show because I know I wonder what Alina thinks about me. I wonder what her thoughts are. And I hear you speak and it touches my heart because I see how close you two are. I see how much close you guys work together and the personality that you have and the features that I know are like your mother and the different traits you have that are like your mother. And it makes me feel so good to know that she has someone who looks up to her that way, who after all of this craziness she has you and she knows, wow, my daughter sees me as a strong woman and my daughter's proud of me. So that touches my heart so much. So if I cry, it's because I've seen you forever. So it's personal for me. But we're going to bring Sam on because I have specific questions for both of you guys. But we're going to bring them on. We're going to come together and we're going to talk. We're going to also put up pictures of these beautiful women because I want you to know, people, specifically who we are speaking of. So let's bring Sam back and we'll get into those questions. And then I'm going to let you guys see who we're talking about tonight. Sam, this is Janelli. Janelli, this is Sam. Everybody, welcome.
Nice to meet you.
So my before we get into this, Ray, let's throw up our first picture. Our first picture is of Carmen Gonzalez. Carmen Gonzalez. I was gonna call her Johnson. Carmen Gonzalez. Let's put up that picture so everybody sees who we're talking about here. Look at that powerhouse. Yes, that is Carmen Gonzalez, and she right there is hype as ever because she was at a poetry event. She is an author. She has her own book with poetry in it, and she went and she killed it that day. She won first place. So that is Miss Carmen Gonzalez. Let's throw up Miss Jackie so everybody can see her. Mira la fierra. She's so cute. Look at her. Her red lips. Chula, Dios mío. This is Janelli's beautiful mommy. So we are celebrating these beautiful women today. We are giving the world a look from their kids' perspective of who they are. So my first questions for both of you. There's Carmen again. You want everybody to see who everybody is. And there's Jackie. So my first question for you guys, and whoever wants to go first, describe. Hold on, I already know Janelli first. Sam, you said you weren't around, but during that time, I'm sorry, you didn't know she was going through it, but you were around her around the time that she was going
Yes.
through it? Okay.
Yes.
All right, good. Just wanted to make sure. So my first question is, describe your mother during that time. You know, maybe her personality, if she was different. Like, what about her during that time was something that you look back on now and you're like, wow, I probably could have picked that up if I was older, if I understood, and things like that. Do you remember her during that time?
Yes, I
You
do.
Okay.
One thing that comes to mind is that she was very quiet.
Mhm.
Now that I think about it, that she's not a quiet person. She's a talkative person.
Mhm.
And when I think about it now, that's something I should have picked up because
Mhm.
like I said, she kept to herself. She was
Mhm.
very quiet. She didn't say a lot. She would go to sleep early, which she doesn't normally. She just wouldn't want to be around a lot, not around us, but just wouldn't want to be around just because of the things that she was feeling and all
Mhm.
the stuff that she was going through. So
Mhm.
one thing when I look back at it, she was definitely more quiet than normal.
Okay. Janelli, how about you? When mommy was going through it, what was her personality? Because we know Jackie is like a vibrant personality. Like that girl step in a room, everybody's awake. So what was she like during that time?
I just think honestly allowing someone to get to her so deeply, like I just felt a lot of anger, and it was
Mhm.
almost like a ticking bomb waiting for things to happen.
Mhm.
But she definitely masked it well. Like a lot of people outside of family, they had no idea.
Mhm.
It only was in the house.
Yeah. Okay. So thinking back at that time, right? And you both said this. I said it for Janelli because I know Jacqueline so closely, but both of your mothers are not quiet women at all in
No.
any way, shape, or form. So thinking about that time and looking at the women that they are now, what lessons do you feel you learned from them from there till now? What are some really big lessons that they've taught you, seeing who they are as persons now? Janelle, you can go first since Sam went first the last time.
She definitely she'll speak her mind. She's always been that way, but a lot more
Mm-hmm.
now. And sometimes she's comfortable with having uncomfortable conversations,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be her current relationship with me, with her business relationships, because the minute that we keep those tensions and we, sweep them under the rug, um,
Mm-hmm.
it's just messy. So definitely learned that from her. Definitely kudos to her because sometimes, it's uncomfortable to have certain conversations, to really speak up
Mm-hmm.
for yourself, to keep your standards. So that's probably the biggest one. There's many, but that's probably the biggest.
Sam, how about you? What's a lesson that you learned from your mom?
I say the biggest lesson I learned is to value yourself. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna use this analogy. I saw it on YouTube, and it was a dollar analogy. And so the motivational speaker, he was holding a dollar, and he said, no matter what I do to this dollar, it never loses its value. Whether I roll it up, whether I tear it, whether I stomp on it, whether I throw it in the trash, no matter what I do to it, it never lost its value. And to look back on where my mom came from and what
Mhm.
she went through, she never lost her value in herself, no
Never.
matter whatever. And she went to hell and rain. But
Mhm.
even in going through that, she never lost her value. And I look up to that because now I'm like, okay, if she went through all that, look, I can go through a lot and I'm gonna make sure that I have my value. I'm gonna make sure that I value myself. So that was one of the biggest things that I learned from my mom. She always valued herself.
Oh wow. You guys got me like all types of choked up right now. And what's super important and special to me is the fact that I know that both of these women are watching. So the fact that it's touching my heart, I know, but I super hope that it's touching both of their hearts. I hope that they both know and see what they've instilled in both of you, because you're both phenomenal, kids. Look at, you're on a full ride right now. And John Ellie is like this mogul. Like, my girl's an entrepreneur beyond I don't know what. Like, you guys have turned into amazing young adults, and it is a testament to who your parents are. It really, really is. And the fact that both of your mothers went through such a storm and came out on top is just amazing for me, and I say that with pride in who they are, but just happy, honestly and genuinely, because I know that I have my moments where I doubt and I wonder if who I am or what I've done is enough for my daughter. But hearing you two guys brings me so much happiness, because I know that no matter anything I went through, I know that I'm a totally different person. And at least I know that if you guys see it, she definitely can see it too. So that's so touching to me. We're about to get into the half mark already. I don't know how that happened so quickly, but before we get into that half mark, let's put up a picture of each of these people with their children. Let me see Jonelli and Jackie so the world can see these two together. Look at them. Cheese. I took that picture. Shameless plug. How about Carmen and Sam? Well, Carmen and all her boys, because let me show you. This powerhouse has 5 boys wrapped around her, and they are her protectors. So that is Carmen and her boys. Awesome. What's your favorite thing about your mother, Sam? Anything. It
Um,
could be anything.
that she's outgoing. I'm kind of quiet to myself, but she makes me like whenever I'm with her, like she's one of those cool parents, who you can have a handshake with, you can like dance with. Like she's one of those cool parents, so that's what I like most about her.
That's right. How about you, Janelli? What's your favorite thing about your loca mother?
Sam stole my answer, but I think there are a lot of like that. Definitely, same with my mom. I love that we're so close in age and that we're so close. Because she definitely pulls those out of me. I'm a Cancer, so I could be a little shy sometimes, but when we're together, it's just completely unfiltered. So that's what I love.
Wepa. Absolutely unfiltered. Before we go into the half, right? Because I got a good one for the half point. But my question for you before we go into the half point is, what do you feel best describes the woman she is right now? Who is she? If you could give me 2 words to describe your mother's, who is your mother right now? Janelle, you go first.
Relentless
Yes.
and wow. Um, yeah, relentless and unstoppable, honestly, in all aspects.
Hey, I love it. I thought you were going to say pain in the ass. I'm joking, Jackie. I love you. She said that too. How about you, Sam? What are 2 words that you could give me to describe Carmen?
I'm gonna go with fearless and determined.
Oh my God, yes. Yo, y'all better be feeling your kids tonight, Jackie. You better buy her something. Carmen, hook them up. Let's go. I promise you, we did not pay them to say nice things. I love it. It shows so much how you guys just respect your parents and have such great admiration for them. I think he said, Ray says, check is in the mail. Oh my goodness. So I hope everybody that's watching is feeling the love off of these kids and what they feel for their parents. I definitely think that it is a true testament to who their parents are. There's a lot of cute comments going on here. I love it. And I want to get into those comments, but let's do a little bit earlier than the half mark and remind folks why we are here so that we can get into our second set of questions. So if you or anyone that you're dealing with or know about, friend, foe, listen, it could be the person you dislike the most. If you know they're dealing with some sort of issue with domestic violence or they're in any type of trouble, it takes 2 seconds to just hand them the number 1-800-799-7233. You can contact us on all of our social media platforms, but remember, if we do not respond to you quickly, you can dial that 9 or you can dial the 911 so that they can come and help you out quickly. My other question for you guys is, what strengths do you feel they possess? And by strengths, I mean, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna change this up a little bit. What strengths do you feel they possess? But what strengths do you feel they possess because of what they went through? Because we can all, I mean, I can have a strength of just I like to sew and I I clean very well. I do. Um, but that comes from just nature, right? But there's some strengths that I possess because of the abuse that I went through. There's some things that I am just great at because of what I went through because it forced me to be this stronger person. So if you had to think of strengths that they possessed as a parent, what is it? And if you guys have to think about it, you can. Um, I'll give you an example. So, something that I believe is a strength for me because of that, right? So, I have always been very outspoken. I've always been the loud one. I've always been able to make people laugh and funny, but that's just my regular personality. Even through my abuse, nobody would know I was going through it because I was still that loud Chrissy. I was still making people laugh. I was still Joker, great personality. But something that is different from that I possess is the fact that now I'm able to speak publicly. Like I couldn't do that before. I was outspoken and I was funny with my friends, but I was never able to speak in public. And when I started doing these shows, I kept thinking to myself, I went through the worst things in life. This is cake. Like you can't be scared of the people watching on the other line. You can't be worried. So when I go out to do public speaking at schools and different, I still get super nervous because I'm always like terrified. But always in the back of my mind, I think you have been through the worst thing in life. This is nothing. The people out there are just here to support you. There's nothing to be upset about. When I think of my strength and who I am as a person in my new relationships, back then, if you got with me and you treated me badly, I went through the abuse. I stayed. Even after my physical abuse, I went through a lot of emotional and mental abuse because I had no strength. Now I'm 41 and my relationships are different. You know, if you talk to me a certain way, you're getting corrected with that. If you come at me a different way, the relationship is ending. Like there's different strength that we possess and we got and we grasp because of the abuse that we went through. So if that helps you a little bit, what strength do you feel these two women possess now that they have gone past that and they are different people now? Sam, you can go first.
There's a lot of strengths I can say, but one thing I want to
You can say all the ones you want. We got time.
okay, well, strength and confidence. I want to say, she now that I look at her now, she has so much confidence. It's like I don't even know her now. She has that much confidence. Like she owns her own business now. Years ago, I would have never imagined her owning her own business, owning her own company, being able to go out to different states to speak, do different
Mm-hmm.
poetry, things like that. I wouldn't even imagine it years ago, but now, that the crisis she went through really made her more confident in herself and in her ability. And then the one thing I want to point out is her strength in God. I think that's very
Mm-hmm.
important because this crisis, I don't want to say it forced her, but for lack of a better word, it forced her to be in a relationship with God because she was sort of going through it alone. And when you go through stuff, a lot of times we look up to heaven, we're like, okay, God, why am I going through this?
Mm-hmm.
Why me? Why me? So I think she really strengthened her relationship with God, being the fact that what she went through forced her to have a relationship with God, forced
Oh
her to
yeah,
get on her knees and pray, forced her to read scriptures, forced her to say, God, I need help. So and I think that's the biggest thing that she gained from what she went through.
absolutely. Those are some good ones. I like those. You out the box today. Janelli, what about you, mommy?
Definitely, she's always had confidence, but definitely, I think she just has more depth within herself. Like she's learned who is Jacqueline, what does she want, what does she desire, what does she want as far as love is concerned and in a romantic partner. Um, and she's definitely, I would say, a lot more empathetic. I
Mm-hmm.
think that, obviously with business, you're dealing with people, your purpose is attached to people. And so we're able to not be so surfacey with people and actually get down to like, how's life? Like, how are you? But really, I think that sometimes, we can be transactional, but she knows her business partners, she knows her clients, like, and they know that she's that space. She holds the space for love and compassion for people. For
Oh
sure.
wow. You guys are blowing it out the box to me. Your parents better be giving. They must have paid y'all for real, because y'all been. What? Oh, there's a question from our executive producer. We're going to get into some comments, but here's a question for you guys. If you could speak to your mom while you were younger with today's mentality, what would you tell her? Talk to your mom and let her know now. Ooh.
Wow.
All right. Who wants to take that on first? I mean, and you're actually speaking to that parent because they're both watching.
Yeah, can the question go back up? It went away.
Go ahead, put that. If you can speak to your mom while you were younger with today's mentality, what would you tell her? So I guess in that time when it was going on. So picture yourself in that time, but with today's mentality. And I'll just go further by just honestly saying, now that you have the mentality that you have, and you know that they went through it, you're speaking to them. Like I said, they're watching. Sam, your mom said, "Talk to me, Samuel. Talk to me." What would you say to them today? Sam, your mom is cucándote, so you go first because she's calling you out, bro.
Um, hmm. One thing that I would say to her is, "You got
Don't
this."
say one thing you'll say. Say it because she's
Okay.
watching.
Mom, you got this. You know, God doesn't put you in situations that you can't get out of. You're in this situation for a reason. This situation is only here to strengthen you. It's not here to hurt you. It's not here to put you down. It's only here to strengthen you. And it's only a matter of time before you get out victorious. So keep going, keep pushing, and don't let down, don't let go, because you're getting ready to come out victorious.
Oh, I love that. Janelle, go ahead. Make me cry too. I
Um,
love this. This is so awesome.
no, I would definitely say God is going to use this. It's all for His glory. You're on mission. Um, your little girl's watching. I know that she says that in the documentary as to why she left. So that's what I would say.
Oh, you guys make me cry. No bueno. I don't like it. You got me and Ray crying, let me tell you, because he's on the other end crying. I know he's writing to me. So, looking back now at that time and looking at your parents now, do you think that your mothers would ever go through this again?
Heck no.
You both are like,
No.
no.
And
And
the reason why I say that is because one thing is, my mom. This put my mom. She doesn't settle for less no more. You know, this situation she was going through. She don't settle for less. She knows what she wants, and you know, this is why I say she would never go through this again, because she's never going to settle for less. She knows what she wants. She knows who she has, and she knows who she is, and so she won't settle for less.
Oh, that's awesome. Janelle, you said no as well. Why you say that?
we do so much internal work. Like, we're really big on personal development in our community,
Mm-hmm.
and mindset work, and how what you think and what you speak, you attract that into your life. And she's just if it doesn't align with her standards, like I said in the beginning, if it doesn't align with where she's going, she's so tunnel vision on where
Mm-hmm.
she's going in life. Um, if it's not in alignment with that, she has no problem with removing things out of her way. So she would definitely never go through it again.
Oh my goodness. What traits do you feel you got from your mothers? Why do you think you're like your mother, Janelle? In what sense? What traits do you get from her?
Her heart, for sure. Um, just remembering, like I said, also that it's everything is for other people. I think we sometimes, we can all be a little selfish sometimes, but being able to think for other, think about other people, serve other people,
Mm-hmm.
um, and just being unapologetically yourself too. If you know my mom, if you follow her, if you see her, she does not care what you think. She is gonna do what she wants. gonna
That's
wear
right.
what she wants. She's gonna change her hair 10 times a year if she
Yep.
wants. So that's definitely what I got.
Oh my goodness. What were you saying, Samuel? What'd you get
Um,
from her?
I would say her hard work and determination. I know back when I was a freshman in college, well, when I was a senior in high school,
Hmm.
um, long story short, I didn't know what college I was going to, but I was so determined to get a scholarship somewhere, whether it was athletically or academically. And I didn't settle for nothing less. And the reason I got that was because seeing my mom and seeing everything she went through and seeing that she didn't settle for less, seeing that she was like, okay, I'm going to do this. No matter how long it takes, no matter what I have to do, I'm going to do it. And so that's what I sort of got from her, even today. I'm always hardworking and I'm always determined with whatever I'm trying to do. I'm always determined to get it done.
Man, amen. As your mom said, drop that mic. We got another question for you guys posed by our producer. What's that question, Ray? Now take a moment and tell your younger self what kind of woman and mom she is today. So I guess placing yourself in that time, talk to yourself and reassure them of the mom that you'll see today. You get what I mean by that? You get what he means by that?
Yes.
Okay.
Um, she she's gonna learn from this. Give her time. Um, and she's gonna leave for you.
Good. I like that. Sam, what would you say to him back then?
Um, I would say be by her side at all times and pay attention to different signs. Pay attention and always be there for her when she needs it most.
Oh man, you guys got me on something else, I tell you. What would you tell youth that are going through this today? Living in a household and dealing with a parent who is dealing with domestic violence. What would you tell youth that might be listening right now?
I would tell them to not be afraid to speak up if something makes them uncomfortable. Um, I know obviously with your children, you listen to them differently.
Mm-hmm.
Um, sometimes I know a lot of times I was scared to speak up. I just watched a lot of things happen. I was fairly young too, but I would
Mm-hmm.
definitely tell them to not be quiet, to express to their parents how this makes them feel and how this affects them
Mm-hmm.
as much as they can.
Okay. Sam?
I would say, don't be afraid to take a stand. I use this. Joshua said in the Bible, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." And he
Mm-hmm.
was taking a stand for him and his family. And
Yes.
so, what I want to tell the youth today is, don't be afraid to take a stand. At some point, you have to take a stand somewhere. And so, don't be afraid to take a stand, whether it's your mother or whether it's your father. You always want to be there and you always want to stand with them.
Awesome. Awesome. So your mom, Sam, has an event coming up. Do you know about this event?
Yes, I
Yes.
do. Yes.
Yeah. We're gonna put that flyer up. I want you to tell us about your mama and her book and everything that she's been doing with herself. Ray, put that flyer up. Let's promote Carmen. Woo, look at that. Do you know what this event is about, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, I actually I created the flyer. So yes.
Oh, all right. Well, go ahead, boy.
So basically, this event is her poetry launch for her business, Ride and Moves Me. And basically, with this poetry launch, she has different things like that's going on, like a fashion show. She has an art auction that's going on. She has different motivational speakers that is going to come. We have different vendors that is also going to come. So her business is Ride and Moves Me. And basically, what she wants to do is she wants to bring poetry back to the world. She believes, and I believe too, that poetry has been gone or has been dismissive. But today and at this point in time, she's bringing back poetry, and she wants people to know, that poetry is not dead. Poetry is still alive and is still well. And so, yeah, I'm her acting agent. So I do a lot with business. So I created that flyer, but yeah.
That's an awesome flyer. Kudos to you, young man. let's let's see. We have a few comments. Let's go through some of these comments before we get to Miss Jackie. It says, "This is probably my favorite episode to date. I just love to hear the strength they are exhibiting. I will definitely leave this show lighter today, feeling less guilty about my poor choices and how they affected my children because of you, Janelli and Sam. God bless. I love it. We have some more comments under there, Ray. Let's see what people are saying. Janelli Morales, well said. God bless you. Amazing, humble kiddos. God bless. Want to make sure you guys can see this. I absolutely love how they view their mamas. God bless. A lot of blessings sent your way, young lady and young man. I'm in tears making dinner. Listen, Mimi, I'm trying to hide my tears as I'm on this show with them. Powerful words, indeed, especially from these two. Oh, Samuel, I have to grab tissues. You guys are giving our audience some loving thoughts today. Let's put up that one of those pictures of Jackie, Ray. Janelli, tell us about your business with your mom. What is it that you do? People heard you, right? But they don't know what you do. So what do you two moguls do?
Yeah, so we own and operate a nutrition center in Philadelphia, Fox Chase Nutrition, where we sell healthy meal shakes, energy teas, coffee, all protein goodies. But we're also health coaches, so we can help people, with their wellness and fitness goals from anywhere. And we're heavy on social and helping people through social media. So that's what we do. We
Do a
help
lot of
workouts.
challenges.
Yeah, challenges, workouts. If you're in Philly, definitely come check us out and follow us on Instagram and all that fun stuff.
You said Fox Chase Nutrition, right?
Yeah, Fox Chase
Where,
Nutrition,
where's it located?
334 Loney Street in Fox Chase.
All right, awesome. You see that? You see these two? Look at that matching. Yellow dress, yellow flowers. The picture that goes up. What do you admire the most about your mom?
Do I go first? Oh.
Sam, what do you admire most about her?
Seeing this picture, I'm gonna go with a smile. That beautiful smile that lights up a room. She's always smiling, always, no matter what. She's always smiling. So that's what I admire most about it.
Awesome. Woo! Look at that, Janelli. What you admire about that crazy lady right there?
I think myself and everyone would comment on my mom's energy. My mom is the energy in the room. She lights up the room. Yeah, everyone knows my mom as the energy queen.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
I had a birthday a couple years ago that she came to, and she wanted to do a video, and everybody in the room was like, what is she talking about? And she was like, just listen to me, we're gonna do this, okay? I'm gonna be on the screen, I'm gonna be by myself, and then I'm gonna turn around and everybody's gonna scream energy, and we all did it, and everybody was cracking up and they didn't get it. And then we did our documentary in Lancaster, and she did the same thing, and everybody in the room was like, what? And she literally grabbed the phone and she was like, what's up, y'all? This is Jackie. Blah, 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 blah. I'm here to bring you. And then everybody was like, energy. So if you've never met Jackie, hit up Fox Chase Nutrition, because my girl got the most energy in the world.
Yes.
And when she spoke. Go ahead, mommy.
Not just energy and being, loud, and it's just about the energy you carry when you walk into a room. It's like when someone walks into a room and you
owns it.
Notice, right? That's the energy that I'm talking about. Yes, the loud energy, she is that, but just
she owns the room.
Yes, what she holds and how she
does. She does. We are already at the 45 mark, which is, there goes my music reminder. We're at our 45 mark, which is when we take out time for me to go to the back and the other guests to go to the back. And one of you is left on the screen by yourself. And this is your final thoughts. So your final thoughts can be about anything, about the show, about what we do. But honestly, let's talk about your mamas today, because that's why you're here. So if you had to give a message and you had to send some love to all the kids out there and what it is that they're feeling watching their mamas, if you have to give a message to all the mamas out there who may actually be struggling because they're fearful of what their children think, anything like that, just give them a message. So I'm going to go to the back. Sam, you're going to go to the back, and we're going to leave Janelli by herself so that she can give her final thought.
What I would say first, I absolutely love what Love Shouldn't Hurt is doing for the community. And I love what the light that we're shedding. And I would definitely say, definitely speak up. Please do not be embarrassed. Seek help. The enemy wants to keep us isolated and feeling like we're the only ones dealing with a lot of things in life. And that is totally the opposite. That is not the truth. God is with you, first of all, through every single trial. And he's going to use this. And so do not feel like you're by yourself. Please, reach out to Christina, reach out to the hotline, reach out to whoever you need to reach out to if you yourself are dealing with this, or if you know someone personally, because this can really change someone's life, and you never know what you speaking up can do. And again, if you are a child in the home, please don't be afraid to speak up for your parents, because they need you. So that's what I would say.
I love Janelli. Don't go away. We're just going to send you to the back real quick because we're going to say goodbye together. We're going to send you to the back. We're going to bring Sam out and he's going to give his final thought. Your turn, young man. I'm going to go to the back and we're going to leave you on the screen to give your final thoughts on anything you want to say. It could be as long or as short as you want. Do not feel pressured to talk quickly because we got some time. So do your thing.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I want to say thank you for having me on this podcast. I'm very honored to be here. Second thing I want to say is shout out to my mother who's watching. I love you, Mom. Go buy your tickets because she has an event coming. You don't want to miss the event. Go buy your tickets. The last thing I want to say is make sure that you honor your parents. That's something I always take with me is you want to make sure that you honor your parents, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing. No matter whether you're on a podcast, whether you're with at school, you always want to honor your parents because you have to understand they're the ones that got you here. They're the ones that brought you in life, and they're the ones that taught you what you know. And so you always want to honor your parents. And then the last final thing I want to say is to those who are struggling with domestic violence, don't give up. Whether you're a child and your mother or dad or father is going through domestic violence, let them know, don't give up because it's only a matter of time before you're out and you're victorious. It's only a matter of time before you're going to get through what you are getting through. So again, honor your parents and always remember that it's only a matter of time before you are done and almost victorious. Thank you.
I love it. Thank you so much. Don't go anywhere. We're going to send you to the back, but stay there. We're going to say goodbye together. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here and for watching. I don't know about you guys, but I think this was one of my faves. I love, love, love when we have youth editions. Anytime we have any children on who are participating in. And sorry for you two in the back. I don't mean that you're little. They're grown folk people. But I love to hear when kids can just give admiration to their parents and just, allow these women to know that they have done just amazing things in their lives. I think as parents, sometimes when we go through domestic violence, we fear that, the pain that we're allowing to happen in our lives is ruining our children and they hate us for it or they just are sad for us, which I'm sure they are. They're pretty sad about it. But we constantly wonder. I constantly wonder, what does my daughter see me as? What does Alina think of me every step that I take? And if you're watching, I hope tonight your heart was filled. I hope you know that, the fact that we've gotten out and we've made it past all of that strife and we've continued on, no matter how hard we struggled to get out of it, how hard we had to take the walk and I'm pushing through every day, no matter what it was. I hope tonight you can see from the mouths to God's ears that our children absolutely watch what we do, the good and the bad, but they see us become victorious. Just like he said, they see us take those steps, even if they're small steps and you think, oh my God, I'm not doing enough. I got us out of that house, but now we're living in an apartment. We're not living in a house anymore. And now, we have to live check to check and we don't have the luxury of going on all of these trips. If you are concerned, don't be concerned because they know that you are taking the steps that are best to give them a better future, to give yourself a better future, and to make life better. If you were not touched by tonight, you have a heart of rocks because I was holding in from crying the entire time. Janelli and Sam were amazing guests tonight. I thank all of the people who are watching. Audience, you guys are always rock stars. You always interact so well. You always give our guests so much love. But tonight was even better because you guys were able to see what I saw. Amazing young individuals who are not only kids of amazing survivor sheroes, but are also Awesome, awesome. Young people, can you believe he got a full ride? My boy has a full ride and is doing his thing and has his career and is an entrepreneur. Janelli is a mogul. This girl runs this business with her mother, but I have seen her. My girl got out of high school and said, I'm gonna do my thing, and has been rocking every day since. They run this business together and they do it so well. She's such a great put together young woman. And as for what I see from Sam, the same. I can speak personally for Janelli because I know her, but Sam, you seem to be doing just as amazing and phenomenal work. So super proud of the both of you. Hats off to my two ladies, Carmen and Jackie. I love that we highlighted you both tonight. You are both phenomenal, phenomenal women. And I am just blessed to know you both and know that you are the rock stars that you are. Let's put up Carmen's flyer one more time so people can see for her event that's coming up. Support Carmen in her event. I see that it is August 6th from 4 to 8 p.m., 320 Arch Street. She'll have a fashion show. She is having series for her poetry. She's going to have speakers there. So please, 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 Carmen is watching. Click on her name. Get your tickets now and reach out to her. If you have not yet visited Fox Chase Nutrition in Fox Chase, please go do so. Let's put up Jackie's picture so people can see who they are going to see when they get there. This vibrant woman who I love and have loved for so long is an amazing woman, and she can be your coach. She can get you to get through all of your fitness goals. So please check Jackie out at Fox Chase Nutrition. Hats off to this beautiful woman and the other beautiful woman for raising dynamic children. I hope you guys had a good time. Check out our flyer for next week. Another great show at 7 p.m. Let's bring them back so we can say goodbye together. Welcome back, folks. Well, thank you again, both of you, for being a part of tonight and sharing your feelings towards your dynamic parents. Congrats to both of you for being awesome young individuals as well. I appreciate you being here with me tonight.
Thank you.
It's been fun. You're welcome. It's been fun. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you the next time. Have a good night, all.
Good night.
See you next Tuesday.